Very fine. So today we are going to start chapter 5 from geography. Okay children. So what is the chapter name? Water. Okay. We are going to see about water in this chapter. So before getting into the lesson, what do you have to do? Take a note and note down all the important points. Okay. So take notes, that will be very useful for you. Okay. So let's start. So first, what is water cycle? What is water cycle? The process by which water continually changes its form and circulates between ocean, atmosphere and land is known as water cycle. So water cycle means water, it changes its form and it moves between ocean, then to the atmosphere, then again to the land, then again to the ocean, then atmosphere, land. This circulation is called as water cycle. Okay, so first from ocean it evaporates and it reaches cloud. Okay, the atmosphere. Then it condenses and it falls back and rain to the land. So this circulation is called water cycle. Understood children? Then next. The major sources of fresh water are river, ponds, springs and glaciers. So these are the source of fresh water. Fresh water means that we can drink. The ocean bodies and the seas contain salty water. So sea and ocean contain salty water, very salt, that we cannot drink. Most of the salt is sodium chloride or the common table salt that we eat. So most of the salt in the sea is sodium chloride. That is the common salt that we use. Okay. Next. So water cycle, you know, right? First water cycle from the ocean, it is getting evaporated and reaches the atmosphere, clouds, and then it condenses and it falls back to the land as precipitation, rain, and again it goes to the ocean and again the circulation happens. This is called water cycle. Next, distribution of water bodies. Distribution of water bodies. So how water bodies are distributed on the earth? 3/4 of the earth surface is covered by water. So if we divide our earth into 4 parts, 3 part is covered by water. Okay, and water is absolutely essential for our survival. So if you want to live, we need water. Only water alone can satisfy us when we are thirsty. When we are thirsty, whether we can do anything and satisfy that thirst? No. We can drink water. Water only can satisfy our thirsty. Next, ocean circulation. We are going to see about ocean circulation. So what is ocean circulation? The movement that occur in oceans can be broadly categorized as waves, tides and currents. So in the ocean, what are the movements? Movements of that ocean are classified into 3. First one is waves, tides and currents. Repeat along with my children. Waves, tides and currents. Okay. So first we are going to see about waves. So waves, what is wave? When the water surface of the ocean rises and falls alternatively, they are called waves. So when this water rises and falls, when the water on the surface rises and falls alternatively, first rise, fall, this is called wave. Okay. During a storm, the wind blowing at a very high speed form huge waves. So if the wind is heavy, what will happen? Waves will also be very high. Okay. This may cause tremendous destruction. Okay, it will cause many destruction. An earthquake, volcanic eruption or underwater landslides. So earthquake, then volcanic eruption or underwater landslide. These will shift large amount of seawater to the shore. Because of this, tsunami also can happen. Tsunami. Okay. Look at this wave. So like this wave is caused by the wind. Okay. So next we are going to see about tide. So what is tide? So tide means the rhythmic rise and fall of ocean water twice in a day is called tide. So rhythmic rise and fall of ocean water twice in a day is called tide. So it is called high tide when water covers much of the shore area by reaching its highest level, and it is called low tide when it covers less area in the shore. Okay, then how these tides happen? The strong gravitational pull from the sun and the moon on the earth's surface causes tide. So how tides form? The gravitational pull, okay, on gravitational energy, that pull from the exacted by the sun and the moon causes tide. Okay, so look here. Next, there are two types of tides. One is spring tide and other one is neap tide. Spring tide and neap tide. So what is spring tide? Spring tide means during the full moon and new moon days. Full moon and new moon days, what will happen? The earth, sun and the moon, everyone will be in the same line. Everything will be in the same line, and because of this, tides will be highest. That is called spring tide. Then when the moon is in the first and last quarter, then that will be in low tide, that is called neap tide. Okay, so if, see here, if sun, moon and earth are in the same line, then it is called spring tide. And if it is in the first quarter or the moon is in the first and last quarter, then it is called spring neap tide. Okay, so understood children? If they are in the straight line, if moon, earth and sun are in the straight line, then it is called spring tide. If the moon is in the first and last quarter, then it is called as neap tide. So look this once, look this picture once. They are straight spring, first quarter neap tide, straight spring tide and last quarter neap tide. Understood children? So like this that goes on. Okay. So if they are in the same line, that wave will be, the tide will be highest, that is called spring tide. If they are in the first, if the moon is in the first or last quarter, then it is the low tide, that is called as neap tide. Okay. Okay. We are going to see about ocean currents. So what is ocean current? So ocean currents are stream of water, okay, stream of water that will be flowing constantly in the ocean surface in one direction. Okay, so that is stream of water that will be flowing constantly in one direction. Okay, so they will be flowing in one direction. So ocean currents may be warm or cold. Sometimes it will be warm or sometimes it will be cold. The warm ocean current originate near equator and move towards the poles. So from where warm ocean current originate, they form near the equator and move towards the poles. And cold currents, they form near the polar or higher altitudes and move towards the tropical. So this, because of this warm current, warm temperature near the land. If warm current is near blowing this way towards the land, then warm temperature we will feel near the land. Then the areas where warm and cold current meet. So where the area where warm current and cold current meet, that is the best fishing ground in the world. Okay, like seas around Japan and east coast of North America are examples. So the area where warm current and cold current meet, that is the best fishing ground of the world. So what are the examples? Seas around Japan and east coast of North America are such examples. Then that area, that best fishing grounds, right? The area where the warm current and cold current meets. That area expects foggy weather. Foggy weather means like cloudy, foggy, such weathers. Okay. So it makes difficult for navigation. Navigation means that route, finding the route, right? It is very difficult to find in that place because since it is foggy and cloudy, it's very difficult to find the route. Okay, that's all in the water chapter. So what we have learned in the water chapter, first we have learned how much the water covers the earth's surface, and fresh water, salt water. Then we have seen about water cycle. Then three types of movements of water in the ocean. That is, first one is wave, second one slide, tide, wave, tide, and last one is ocean current. So we have seen about three. First in waves we have seen about tsunami. Then after in tide we have seen two types of tides, neap tide and spring tide, and last in ocean current we have seen warm ocean current and cold ocean current. Okay, that's all. And now we are going to see about chapter 6, natural vegetation and wildlife. Natural vegetation and wildlife. This is very easy lesson. So first, so how this natural vegetation depends? This natural vegetation depends on the temperature and moisture. So everywhere we cannot see same type of natural vegetation. It differs everywhere. According to the temperature and rainfall, it differs everywhere. Okay. Next, natural vegetation is classified into three types. First one is forest, grassland and shrubs. Forest, grassland and shrubs. Forest, grassland and shrubs. For forest, the temperature and rainfall have to be plentiful. Then only it support to have a high tree and tree cover. So depending upon this forest factors, dense and open forest are grown. So for forest we need temperature and rainfall plentiful. Then grassland, in moderate rain areas grassland we can find, and shrubs, thorny shrubs and shrubs grow in dry region. So shrubs like thorny shrubs, they grow in dry region. Okay, in dry region we can find this type of vegetation. Okay children, so what are the three types of vegetation? Forest, grassland and shrubs. For forest, rainfall have to be heavy. For grassland, moderate rainfall. Shrubs, dry region. Now we are going to see about types of forest. One. So first is tropical evergreen forest. Tropical evergreen forest. So from the word itself you can understand evergreen. Every time it is green. Okay, evergreen forest. Okay, look this picture, evergreen. Okay, so this tropical evergreen forest are also called tropical rain forest. Tropical evergreen forest are also called as tropical rain forest. So here rain will be more, and because of that the trees will not shed their leaves. So every time it looks green. Okay, and this thick forest occur in the region near the equator and close to the tropics. Okay, so these regions are hot and receive very high rainfall. So there is no dry season and the trees will not shed their leaves. Every time it will look green. Okay, so here we can find hardwood trees like rosewood, ebony, mahogany. Okay, next, tropical deciduous forest. So this type of forest is also called as monsoon forest. Monsoon forest. Okay, this we can find in large part of India, northern Australia and in Central America. Okay, look this picture. So here seasonal changes will be there. So in dry season, here dry season will be there. So during that season trees will shed their leaves. Okay, and here we can find hardwood trees like sal, teak, neem, shisham. Okay, these are used for make furniture, transport and construction materials. Then animals like tigers, lions, elephants, langurs, monkeys, or the common animals we can find in this region. So tropical deciduous are also called as monsoon forest. Here seasonal change is there. Because of that, trees shed their leaf during dry season. Next, temperate evergreen forest. Temperate evergreen forest we can find in the mid-latitude coastal region, that are like in southeast USA, South China and southeast Brazil. They comprise both hard and soft trees like oak, pine, eucalyptus, etc. Then temperate deciduous forest. So temperate deciduous forest we can find higher latitudes, that means like northeast part of USA, China, New Zealand, Chile, and in the coastal region of Western Europe. So here in dry region, trees will shed their leaves. The common trees are oak, ash, beech, etc. Then deer, fox, wolves are the common animals, and birds like peasants, monals we can find here. Then Mediterranean vegetation. So Mediterranean vegetation we can find in the west and southwest margins of continent, and it is mostly found in areas around the Mediterranean Sea in Europe. So Mediterranean Sea around in Europe, in those areas we can find this type of vegetation, not only Europe, Africa and Asia. Okay, this kind of vegetation is also found outside the actual Mediterranean region in California, in the USA, Southwest Africa, Southwestern South America and Southwest Australia. Here also we can find. Then citrus fruits such as orange, figs, olives and grapes commonly cultivated here. So citrus fruits are cultivated here. Then next, coniferous forest. So coniferous forest or we can find in the higher latitudes of northern hemisphere. These are also called as taiga. These forests are also in the higher altitudes. Chir, pine, cedar are the common variety of trees, and silver fox, mink, polar bear are the common animals found here. So that's all the type of forest. So what are the types we have seen? First one is tropical evergreen forest, that are also called as tropical rainforest. Then we have seen tropical deciduous forest, then temperate evergreen forest, temperate deciduous forest, then Mediterranean vegetation, then coniferous forest. Okay, so now we are going to see about grassland. So tropical grassland. So this tropical grassland we can find in the sides of equator and extend to the tropics. The vegetation like moderate, it will grow to the moderate and low rainfall areas. So moderate and low rainfall areas we can find this type of grassland. The grass is very tall and goes to 3 to 4 meter in height. Okay, so grass will be very height like 3 to 4 meter. And savanna grassland of Africa is an example. Elephants, zebras, giraffes, deer, leopards are common in this tropical grassland. Then we are going to see about temperate grass. So these are found in the mid-latitude zones and interior parts of the continent. Usually grass is short and very nutritious, very good for health. And wild buffaloes, bisons, antelope are common in the temperate region. So in grassland we have seen two types, tropical grassland and temperate grassland. Tropical is near equator and tropics. Temperate we have seen near the altitudes. Okay, and now thorny bushes. So thorny bushes are found in the dry desert-like region. In dry desert-like region we can find this thorny bushes. Okay, so thorny bushes we can in the dry regions, like a thorny with more thorns. Okay, and this are located in the west margins of the continent. The vegetation cover is scarce because of scanty rain, no rainfall and very heat. So vegetation is very poor here. And in the polar region, the growth of natural vegetation is very limited. Only mosses, in polar region it will be very cold, right? So in polar region, only mosses, lichens and very small shrubs are found here. It grows during the very short summer. This is called tundra type of vegetation. So in polar region, Since it is very cold, there is poor vegetation, and only in the small summer they have little vegetation we can find, that is called tundra type of vegetation. So in polar region we have tundra type of vegetation. So that's all children. So we have seen in natural vegetation, we have seen natural vegetation is classified into forest, grassland and shrubs. In grassland we have seen tropical evergreen forest, tropical deciduous forest, temperate evergreen forest, temperate deciduous forest, Mediterranean vegetation and coniferous forest. And in grassland we have seen tropical grassland and temperate grassland. And after we have seen thorny shrubs. Okay, so that's all for today's class. So thank you children, thank you for listening very patiently. If you have any doubt, just listen the slide once again. Note all of the important points. Okay, thank you children, have a nice day.